What if the way you're eating, even if it's healthy, is the exact reason why you're stuck skinny fat? I know this because I followed those same habits for years, and the second I fixed them, I got to the lean, muscular body that I wanted. In this video, I'm going to break down the exact eating habits that kept me stuck in the same skinny fat body for years, and you might be doing some of them without even realizing it. You'll see why those habits don't just fail to get you lean and muscular, they actually make it harder. I'll show you the simple changes I made to finally build muscle, lose fat, and get leaner without living in the gym or starving myself. And I'll be real with you, I'll tell you exactly how long it actually takes to reverse skinny fat once you fix your diet, so you can stop guessing and actually start seeing results. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's been holding you back, what to do instead, and how to finally get the physique that you've been chasing in a way that's simple, sustainable, and works for the long term. But just quickly, if you want AI to help you fix skinny fat, then grab my free AI skinny fat fixer. It's in the description below. Have you ever heard the saying, the best way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure that he never knows he's in prison in the first place? What if I told you that's the exact reason why so many people stay stuck skinny fat? Most people think the answer is more restriction, stricter diets, fewer calories, cutting out every food that they enjoy. But here's the problem. When you live like that, something happens. You slip up, you tell yourself you've ruined everything and say, I'll start again Monday. Then the cycle repeats over and over and over again, and you never actually make any progress. This loop destroys more transformations than a day off of your diet ever will. And the truth is, unless you're training for the Olympics or a multi-million-dollar UFC fight, you don't need that kind of restriction to get in shape. In fact, it's one of the worst things you can do to escape the skinny fat trap. Because just like the prisoner who doesn't even know he's locked up, if you never feel like you're on a diet, then you can't break the diet. You remove the pressure, you stop the binge eating cycle, and that's when real lasting progress finally happens. And that brings me on to the first eating habit that kept me stuck for years, and you're probably doing that exact thing right now. It's kind of like being on a date and it's going really well. You're making her laugh, the chemistry's there, and everything's going smooth. Then, right at the end of the night, you bring up politics, she gets offended, she calls you an idiot, and she just walks out on you. You knew it was the one thing that would blow it all up, but you did it anyway. And that's exactly what the weekend binge does. You do great all week, and then you undo it all in 48 hours. Here's how it happens. You eat super clean and low calorie Monday to Friday, you feel in control, but by Friday night, your cravings are through the roof, and then you decide to treat yourself, which turns into a massive blowout, and by Monday, you're right back where you started. It's the same loop week after week, and it quietly keeps you stuck in the skinny fat trap. The solution isn't to give up your weekends, it's to actually plan for them. So if you know you like going out or you want bigger meals on the weekend, then you just need to bank for it. So you shave off 200 calories every single day of the week, and then that's gonna give you an extra 1,000 calories to eat on the weekend. Then on the weekend days when you're gonna eat more, you wanna start with a higher protein breakfast so you've got more calories left for the bigger meals later on in the day. You're still going to be able to enjoy yourself, you're still going to be able to stay on track, and you're actually going to make progress instead of hitting the reset button every single Monday. But even if you fix your weekends, there's still another problem that shows up every single night, and it can quietly undo everything that you've worked for during the day. It's like in horror films, the haunting only happens at night. During the day, you're fine, you're in control, you're eating well, but as soon as the evening hits, the sweet tooth demon comes out to play. And here's the thing, you can't just kill it off. You try and fight it, but it's only going to come back stronger, and instead you've got to make a deal with the devil. You know how it goes, you've just finished dinner, you're not even that hungry, but suddenly the craving hits you. You'll tell yourself that you'll just resist, but the longer you hold out, the stronger the urge gets. Eventually you go all in, grab the biscuits, grab the chocolate, and you raid everything in the cupboard. And then you go to bed annoyed at yourself, vowing that you'll never do the same thing again. But the reality is, it's the same cycle every single night. The deal is simple. You've got to feed the demon, but on your own terms. So the first option you've got is to have a sweet treat, but follow it with 2 high fiber pieces of fruit. This is going to fill you up, and it's going to stop the binge cycle from happening. Or the second option is to swap in a sweet alternative like low calorie ice cream or Greek yogurt with protein powder and berries in it. So you're still going to get that hit of sweetness, but you're going to stay in control and you're going to stay on track. And if you want AI to help you structure this and give you more tips, then grab my free AI skinny fat fixer. It's in the description below. However, even if you've got your weekends under control and you've made peace with your sweet tooth demon, a lot of guys will still stay stuck. And it's because of how they start their day. It's exactly like following Mike Tyson's training plan, but instead of being a boxer, your sport of choice is badminton. It's great if you want to be a boxer, but if you're trying to get better at badminton, it's going to do nothing. unless you lose and want to fight your opponent, then obviously you're going to be able to knock him out. And that's exactly what happens when you copy someone else's meal timing strategy without thinking how it's going to fit into your own lifestyle. A perfect example of this is skipping breakfast just because you saw someone online do intermittent fasting. Now, I personally like fasting until later on into the day because I tend to eat more at night, but a lot of people, this is going to massively backfire on them. They push their first meal way too late, they undereat protein and calories earlier on, and then they're going to overcompensate in the evening by raiding the fridge and undoing all of their progress. The point is that there's no universal rule, and instead of copying someone else's plan like it's gospel, you've got to analyze your own bottlenecks. If you tend to snack uncontrollably at night, then maybe fasting is going to work for you. However, if skipping breakfast makes you binge later on, then you should start your day with a solid high protein meal to keep you full and in control, and build your eating around your lifestyle so you can actually stick to it long term to make the best progress possible. But the crazy thing is that even if you fix all of the habits that we've talked about, there's still one thing that can ruin your transformation, and it has nothing to do with food or training. It's like planting a tree and then digging it up every 2 weeks because it hasn't grown fast enough. The roots never have enough time to take hold, and therefore it never grows. That's exactly what happens when you don't give your body enough time. You start making changes, but you don't see instant results, so you switch plans and you do this over and over again and you get nowhere. If you apply these habits that we've covered in this video, then you've got to commit to them for months. Don't just do them for a couple of days or a week and then expect them to be magic. This is how you're finally going to stay on track long enough to see real change. You need to give your body enough time to respond, and it's going to reward you for that. However, what if the one thing that's still holding you back from fixing skinny fat isn't your diet or your training, but it's actually something that you've never even thought about before? That's exactly where I was. So watch this video next, because I'm going to break down the skinny fat tips that finally worked for me, because sometimes the tiniest tweaks can make the biggest difference.